much. And one conversation we want to have is that the giant dock workers union has rejoined COTU 2 years after ditching it for the Trade Union Congress of Kenya. Now, the Secretary General of the union, Simon Sang, said the decision was sparked by non-performance of the outfit. In October 2014, the dock workers had their constitution to allow their union to ditch COTU for TUC-Kenya, although some members opposed this and went to the industrial court in Mombasa to block it. All right, let's have a conversation about that. And joining me from our City Centre studio is Charles Muhwaya, who is the Deputy Secretary General of TUC-Kenya. Thank you so much for joining us, Charles. So talk to us about the reason behind the dock workers, deciding to leave your union and going back to COTU.
Thank you very much, and I want to thank the KTN News for giving us this opportunity to share with the public on what is happening with our members in the Dock Workers Union. First and foremost, why they would want to go to the sister labor center, that is COTU, it is their constitutional right. We cannot stand in their way. But I think the reasons that they have been advancing through the section of the media are anything that we can call the open and naked truth, deceit. It is not true that is lack of performance. What we know is that as a labor center, we run our labor center with a view of strengthening our affiliate unions. We don't run the activities of individual unions who are affiliated to us. And therefore, dock workers as a union, we have all the time ensured that they remain independent and they are strong enough to carry out the mandate that their members have given them as the leadership. And therefore, for us, the issue of non-performance is not true, because throughout this particular year that is ending, all our unions under the Trade Unions Congress of Kenya and other unions under COTU, we have been subjected to elections. And therefore, you find that majority of our unions under TUC-Kenya have been holding their elections. Some of them have not even finished with their elections. And even the labor center itself, we are yet to carry out our elections. And therefore, the better part of this year, we have been so busy, and we're still so busy trying to ensure that each and every union under us carries out its elections as required by the government. Now, to say non-performance is not true. Performance is not measured at the labor center level. Performance is measured at the union, the individual unions level. The labor center only does and carry out issues at the policy level. And whenever there's a problem with an individual trade union under the labor center, we expect the labor center to receive communication from that particular union to tell us the problem that they are having, and also to go ahead and tell us what assistance they would like us as a labor center to give them. Now, Dock Workers Union had its problem when there was an industrial action called out by the labor center in July last year. What happened was that the members of that particular union participated in that particular industrial action, but they never adhered to the rules and regulations that had actually been put forward for them to do. First, they went out on strike long before the labor center called for that industrial action. And I think after that, then their management or their employer took upon themselves to discipline these members for having gone out on an illegal strike. Now, when that happened, they were able to come to us as a labor center to inform us of the same. And what did we do? We did sit down with the management of that particular union and ask them, now that there's this problem, how would you like us to help you? Now, the then Secretary General of the Dock Workers Union did inform us. First, we told him the best approach that we can do is not to go to court as at now. Let us engage the KPA management so that we have an out-of-court settlement. He refused. He instead said, no, he has already gotten a lawyer. He is going to court. Then we said, fine, if you're going to court, then let us ensure that the lawyer who is going to take up this matter is a lawyer who is going to be able to handle this process to the very end. Can we then be able to assist you procure a lawyer? He said, no, I've already gotten a lawyer. And he ran away with the case. Then we said, okay, fine. let us watch and see how you're proceeding. We gave that particular union the latitude to move in the direction they had wanted.
Okay, Charles.
Yes, please.
All right, let's talk about the achievements that you've been able to have, since the establishment of TUC-Kenya.
Yes.
What is it that you can say that, you can pride yourself that you've been able to achieve for, the people under you?
Right, thank you. Since the inception of the TUC-Kenya, there are a lot of achievements that we have made. One is that you will realize that the unions under TUC-Kenya are among the most vibrant trade unions registered in this country. We, as a labor center, have been able to support these unions to move ahead and engage their individual employers, individual managements, in ensuring that they engage them to procure a collective bargaining agreement for their members. And you'll realize that majority of these unions, either they have had a number of collective bargaining agreements already signed between themselves and their respective employers. That's one. Two, you will also realize that during the May Day celebration this year, TUC went out and actually had a fully paid up advert. And we stated that our unions will not this year participate in the Labor Day celebration.
All right.
Reason is because the salaries and remunerations for most of the unions for this particular cycle had not been done by the employers. Then we said we will not be able to support or celebrate until the unions have done that. And already, one of our unions has already signed that CBA, and that is KNUT.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Charles Muhaya. He is the Deputy Secretary General of the Trade Unions Congress. All right, so we want now to